Warte. Dann fangen wir JLaser an. Okay. JLaser. Ich wechsle gleich die Szene. Hier, Falcon Wings. Drücken wir mal auf die Lautstärke. Und machen mal ein Switch rüber.
So here's how I made the wings from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I also made the display goggles just to complete the outfit. Then I made Redwing so we can actually see stuff with the goggles. And then of course I had to make the arm piece to control everything. Let's start from the beginning. Just like any video, I was scrolling through your comments looking for my next idea. Do Falcon wing. Make Falcon Redwing drone. Make Falcon can fly. You make the Falcon wings, Falcon Redwing goggles. Alright. You guys have made yourselves very clear. Kind of like in my last video where I actually made myself clear with an invisibility suit. Yeah, give that a watch if that sounds interesting. But yes, we're finally doing it. We're making everything from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm talking retractable wings, Redwing drone, goggles, the arm thing. I also eventually want to make a Captain America shield, have it bounce all around and still actually have it fly back to you, just like how it works in the movies. Kind of looks like it defies physics, but I think I've got a pretty clever idea for how we could actually do this. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see me try and make that next, or just comment any other build ideas you'd want to see me make too. All right, so I think I said previously, we're gonna make Falcon wings, we're gonna actually try and fly with them. So yeah, hopefully we can eventually make a version of these wings where we can actually fly with them.
Okay, bisher die Idee absolut absurd. Das war halt irgendwie ein, was jetzt, einfach halt Flügel machen, die retractable sind und damit fliegen können. Absolut absurd. Und was er schon alles gemacht hat. So eine Drohne mit Lasern, wo man sehen kann, was sie machen. Und ja, auf jeden Fall geisteskrank. Ich glaube, am Ende gibt es eher einen Kanarienvogel als einen Falken, oder? Ja, maybe. Lassen wir uns überraschen.
Definitely subscribe for that. All right, so that's some pretty big game I just talked. Falcon's low-key strapped. I think this might be the most different pieces of tech on any superhero. I'm gonna do my best to make it all happen. And if you do end up liking this, well, just remember, there's a button for that. So I guess let's start off small with the goggles and eventually work our way up to the wings. So if we look at some of the footage, you can see that the goggles are kind of like the ones bikers wear. Full face coverage, band around the back, tinted orange red. But these goggles, not any ordinary pair. They've got a display built into the eye that gives them real-time information and video from Redwing. All hands-free, of course, displayed right to the eye. Perfect for when he's, putting the hands or, I guess, the wings on the bad guys.
Ich glaube, das mit Gläsern ist nur das Einfachste, weil es gibt ja so quasi, du kannst, glaube ich, ganz normales Display einfach nehmen auf der kleinen Größe und das passt dann, weil an sich können die halt durchsichtig sein, ruhig, die Displays, deswegen, außerdem hat er auch schon bereits die IDIF-Brille gemacht, deswegen sind, glaube ich, die Gläser das Einfachste von dem Ganzen jetzt.
Luckily for me though, this ain't my first rodeo when it comes to wearable displays. I've already made 3 types of EDIF glasses. And this I think might actually be a little bit easier than those because we've got more real estate to fit electronics and goggles rather than tiny little glasses. So yeah, we could do it pretty much the exact same way we did before, but I'm gonna take this opportunity to try something a little different. If you're not trying new things, you're not learning anything. I'm gonna use this HDMI heads-up display. It's just completely stripped down. All it does, pipe an HDMI signal right to your eye. So I think if we use a low latency HDMI transmitter and receiver, then we can get a live video instantly to the glasses from anything that we plug the transmitter into. It's actually pretty handy to have a face display that connects to your phone. If you ever get bored of the mission, you can always watch a movie or play some games.
So
found these pretty cool looking biker goggles. They're already pretty close to the TV show. The only thing we gotta change though is the color. So I got a bit of red car tint and stuck it on the lens. Then I ripped apart the display glasses and mounted it in the eyepiece of the goggles, kind of in the lower corner area, so it won't block our view or anything. Looks like a 2-foot screen floating about maybe like an arm's length away from our face. Then I mounted all the drivers and the electronics in the band that goes around back. Then just a little bit more aesthetics work and they're pretty much done. It is a bit tricky though to show you how they work, especially on camera, but if we turn them on and plug the transmitter into my computer, and if we focus it in just right, you can see we've got something on the screen. Oh, look at that. Now, as you can see, we've got my computer screen streaming. So there's the mouse, and here's the channel with all the videos that you should definitely watch after this. So this should be pretty adaptable. If we can get our Redwing drone to stream video to a computer or phone or something, we can then pass it right to our goggles. All right, goggles done.
Wäre es nicht einfacher, von der Drohne das direkt zu einer Brille zu schicken und halt in der Drohne irgendwie einen Raspberry einzubauen? Das wäre eigentlich, glaube ich, einfacher, wenn man halt in der Drohne direkt einen Raspberry drin hat und dann auch den Sender. Das Einzige, was man dann achten müsste, wäre der Akku, aber das wäre so oder so ein Ding. Deswegen fände ich einfacher mit einem Raspberry einfach in die Drohne einbauen.
That wasn't too hard, right? But speaking of Redwing, let's make that next. So if we look over the footage again, all it is basically a mini drone that pops out of his backpack. And of course, this thing is packed full of its own capabilities. The Marvel Gadget team really went hard with this one. Like, check this out. First, it automatically unfolds and deploys itself from the backpack when Falcon asks. Then it's got amazing maneuverability. It can fly like a plane, but also hover like a drone. With some sort of propulsion tech. I have no idea how this works. I don't even think Marvel does. They just kind of like slapped a blue glow on the bottom and were like, it's good. Don't question it too much. Then it has a full array of cameras, making it the perfect recon drone. It's got...
Ja, aber es geht um Latency, deswegen hat er versucht, das separat zu bauen. Okay, wir werden sehen.
Optical zoom, it records in different spectrums, so it can see in the dark and through stuff even. It's also got some intelligence, it can recognize people. Then if all that wasn't enough, this thing's also packing some heat too. It's got lasers, it's got rockets, it's got like a mini blaster, probably a bunch of other things too. And the best part is it seems to be all autonomous. Like it's his own personal sidekick basically.
His name is Redwing.
I'm still not thinking it.
He's cute, go ahead, bet him.
Like I think he can control it somewhat with his arm thing, but yeah, he just tells Redwing to do something and it gets it done. So I'm gonna do my best to recreate every detail of it. So first thing we need to figure out, how's this actually gonna fly? To answer that question, I went and got several different kinds of flying aircrafts. First up, we got the standard RC wing plane. So its aesthetics are spot on in my opinion. I'm sure we could pretty easily make a version of this that looks like...
Ich glaube, das ist sogar das nächste, also was halt am nächsten am Originaldesign rankommt, das, weil es unter anderem auch nicht an der Seite Propeller hat, sondern hinten. Deswegen, ich glaube, das ist tatsächlich eine sehr gute Wahl, wenn das auch vernünftig fliegt.
Like Redwing.
I guess what do? Just tuck it? I don't think this is gonna work. Maybe a little more angle. Oh! Oh, that was a big pop.
There's the cutest little mouse.
Bro, you think it could fit on the plane?
Hi, come on, hop on.
Oh, there it is! Oh, there. Oh, God! Oh, God.
All right, that's it.
That's the last round.
I had a feeling that might happen, so I brought a backup.
Can't exactly hover or turn or slow down like Redwing does. And I mean, I'm not the best pilot, as you can see. Clearly it can't fly itself, which brings us to the capability, which is also kind of lacking. Like it can't do anything except fly. So we'd have to build all of that in, which makes the complexity extremely high.
Here we have
Es müsste vielleicht noch ein bisschen mehr wie eine Drohne sein. Ja, also ich glaube, das weiße Ding ist, glaube ich, jetzt sogar noch näher am Original dran. Nur vielleicht etwas sehr klein. Also ein bisschen größer könnte es schon sein. Aber wir werden sehen, was er am Ende macht.
a wild Christian. Watch this. I'm gonna make him turn around. Dude, we're doing research, man. Go get it!
All right, so next up we have this half drone, half plane. Basically, it's a drone that you can clip a wing onto and have it fly like a plane. You know, it could be the best of both worlds. So the aesthetics aren't bad. I could see it looking pretty good with just a little bit of tweaking. Functionality is also pretty good too. Flies like a plane and hovers like a drone for the most part. Capability though, that's where it's kind of lacking. Again, doesn't have any autonomy, no cameras, which again makes this a very complex project. So I actually have another plane drone hybrid. This thing takes off and hovers as like a tricopter, and with a push of a button, the propellers fold forward and it turns into a plane. So the aesthetics, again, not bad. Still got those open propellers though, but the functionality is pretty good. Again, it flies like a drone, transforms into a plane, just a little flick of the button. So it can like whip around. It looks like it's kind of like drifting in midair. It's pretty cool. It's super fun to fly too. But again, we still don't have any autonomy or GPS or cameras or anything like that, which makes this project pretty complex, but I think this is the best version we've seen so far.
Actually, I'm gonna put it in flame mode.
All right. Oh. Oh!
I swear that was there when I started.
This is a beehive up here. But I mean, you know, we still can't forget the obvious. The actual thing we use is a filming tool. A standard quadcopter drone. The aesthetics though, they're not the best because it really doesn't look like Redwing at all. So we definitely have to do some mods to get it looking more on par. But the functionality is great. It can hover, turn, go up, down, forward, backward. Basically everything that Redwing can do. Like drones nowadays are just incredibly high tech. And just
Also, wenn die wirklich diese CGI-Drohne benutzen, heißen die so? Ich weiß es gar nicht. Wenn diese Drohne benutzen, haben die ersten Vorteil von der Kamera, die ist bereits verbaut, müssen das Signal nur noch an die Brille senden. Und wenn die es richtig anstellen, können die so machen, dass das jetzt zusammengeklappt ist und dann halt beim Benutzen sich ausklappt. Also das wären schon mal zwei Features, die damit mit der Drohne haben.
You can have so many cool features depending on which ones you get. So I think this is actually going to be the simplest way to go. All we really have to do is make it look like Redwing, maybe add like some lasers and rockets to it, because unfortunately you can't really buy that. Also, I should probably mention, we're going to be as safe as we can doing all of this. This is just purely for the challenge of trying to recreate this awesome piece of tech from the movies. That raises the very important question though of which drone. So I did a lot of digging for this. Obvious place to start is with the DJI drones. They pretty much rule the space of high-tech consumer drones, but from my experience with DJI, they're almost a little bit too smart, especially when you're trying to modify them. They have a million sensors all over, which makes it really hard when you're trying to like mount anything to it. That being said though, DJI actually does make a programmable drone like that you can actually write code for and like tells it where to fly. Fortunately though, I don't think it's got quite the capability we need for this project, but I'm definitely planning on using this in the future. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to give one of these away to you guys, because I really do like getting to help out with your projects.
Und es kann Gewicht haben, noch ein Vorteil. Ja, es hat er gerade eben so gesehen widerlegt, weil aufgrund der Sensoren kann es halt nicht unbedingt so viel angeklemmt haben. Deswegen die DJI-Drohne so, naja. Und diese programmierbaren, das klingt interessant. Man könnte mehrere von denen verwenden. Kann man so 3 Stück vielleicht. Dann haben die insgesamt können sie wahrscheinlich mehr Gewicht tragen. Also wenn man das Gehäuse aus Plastik macht oder Kunststoff, je nachdem, und dann halt nur Kamera haben die Drohnen. Also eigentlich nur diesen Receiver, irgendeine Low-Power-Laser und dann irgendwie so Nerf-Teile halt als Raketen, dann hätten die eine perfekte Drohne. Aber nee, Hightech-Drohne generell würde gut sein. Ja, sowieso. Diese DJI-Drohnen, das sind auch einfach nur die, meines Wissens nach, die besten Drohnen, insbesondere für so, Aufnahmen, für so, Top-Down, Vogelperspektivenaufnahmen. Ist DJI-Drohne einfach nur das Beste, was man haben kann.
Rabbit hole, I think I found what should be a perfect fit for this Redwing drone. This is the Anafi by Parrot, but there's a few reasons why I think this would be better over some of like the DJI drones. First, we can add a thermal camera to this, so we can actually get some of that seeing in the dark and through stuff capabilities they have in the show. It's also got optical lossless zoom, so like a physical lens that can zoom in and out. Again, just like Redwing. So I went and got myself a powerful 1-watt blue laser, ripped everything apart, stripped it all down so we just had the diode and the circuit board. Because again, we need to keep this as lightweight as possible so we don't hinder the performance. So then I 3D printed a tiny new housing that we can mount to the bottom of the drone, just like how the movies did it. Then I was able to take apart the drone and actually tap into the power source that we can actually use to run the laser. This already would have been impossible with a DJI drone. Then to control everything, I used the smallest Arduino I could find.
Das ist ein verdammt kleines Chip, ein verdammt kleiner Chip. Verdammt klein. Also so, so einen kleinen Chip habe ich noch nie gesehen. Also jetzt unabhängig davon, also jetzt so einfach so für Consumer. Weil das ist ja etwas, das kann jeder kaufen. Und ich habe sowas noch nie gesehen. Oh, das ist krass. Und es hat immer noch einen Micro-USB-Anschluss. Cool.
Along with the relay to control the laser. And we could probably also use the same circuit to launch rockets. But as I mentioned though, the biggest problem with this drone that we have to change is the aesthetics. You know, it looks nothing like Redwing. Basically, we're trying to cover the propellers to make it look more like a plane, but propellers only work if they're exposed to air. And we also need to keep everything as lightweight as possible if we still want this to fly well. So I started out with a few foam designs to see how the drone would react when we started adding stuff to it. And it actually worked all right. But as soon as I actually started to cover the props with this sort of like mesh-like material, yeah, it didn't like that. Too much weight, not enough airflow. So then it
Für krasse Race-Drohnen ist das Standard, hat Hex mir auch benutzt. Da kann ich mich jetzt nicht dran erinnern.
a bit more research, trying to figure out what's the best material to make this out of. Foam, balsa wood, even this aerogel composite I thought would work. And I also tried 3D printing different structures like a truss that's actually used in bridges. But in the end, all of that was kind of a little bit too heavy. So I ended up going with some good old fashioned carbon fiber because it's super lightweight, very strong, just really hard to beat for this application. So the plan is to build like a frame using some carbon fiber rods that we can mount all around the drone. And then we can add some super thin carbon fiber panels around the outside to make it actually look like Redwing. Now all we gotta do is figure out how to actually cover the props. Basically, we need a material that's visible, but still lets maximum airflow through. I actually tried gauze, like the stuff that you put on cuts, which kind of worked.
Yeah, that's not what we want.
So I finally switched to some super thin, super lightweight fabric. It looks a bit cleaner than gauze and works a bit better too. Then I hit the whole thing with a thin coat of some metallic red paint. This way we still get that sweet looking carbon fiber look, but it's also got a red tint like Redwing. Then I did a bit of detailing and gave it some silver accents to make it look even cooler. Then for a final touch, I added the wings to the side that swivel out, used some servos for that. As it takes off, the wings slide out, just like in the show. So I think the last thing we need to make this work is the armband to control it. This seems pretty straightforward though. All we gotta do is 3D model a gauntlet piece that can fit a phone. Then just print it out, add a bit of wood filler, throw a coat of paint on it, add some arm straps, and of course do a bit more detailing. Then we just drop the phone inside and we're good. And we can also stream that phone screen to our glasses so we can get the display in both areas. All right, so let's test this thing out. It's actually crazy though. It can do so much stuff. Let's first start off with the autonomous feature, which we can actually make even cooler by adding voice control. Because pretty much every smartphone nowadays comes with some sort of voice control. So we can have certain trigger words, perform certain gestures. Basically just have a trigger word, tell the drone to take off, so we can actually have it fly when we say something like Redwing fly.
We got video to the goggles. We also got all the controls right on the arm thing. Can you see that? All we have to do is say something like Redwing fly.
Ja, die geht ja komplett ab.
Check that out.
Damn.
That's kind of sick, huh?
So
Das ist verdammt nice, was er gerade gemacht hat. Dass er sogar sprachsteuern kann. Also, ich bin impressed. Und ich frage mich gerade, wie das bei Hacksmith aussehen würde. Was die da machen würden, um Redwing zu machen. Interessiert mich gerade.
dope, dude.
Let's have him take off from my back. We haven't built the backpack yet, so I guess we're just gonna have to do it the old school way. Gonna help me out.
You sure?
Yeah, Redwing, fly.
Oh! No way!
We've also got full autonomous GPS flying too. So we can have it perform basic maneuvers, or actually advanced flying paths, like have it fly to specific points that we tell it to on the map, again triggered all with our voice. Check this out.
All right, let's give it a shot. Redwing, search the area. Oh, and there it goes. Woo! There we are. So, all right, so it's gonna go to each 4 corners of the yard. I'm gonna pop back to the front yard if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, it's nice.
Wow, that's some beautiful footage too. Look at it go. Oh, that's so cool. I'm not controlling it one bit. It's just scouting the area.
Sieht er bereits das Bild der Drohne in der Brille? Weil wenn ja, das wäre schon nice.
Redwing, land, start landing.
And remember, we've also got manual lossless 4K zoom capabilities. You can actually also follow us too. Again, if we set the trigger word to Redwing follow us and have it activate the follow function. Also, I just gotta say, this follow function is much better than DJI's. I don't know why it works so well. Maybe because it uses data from the thermal camera or something. I don't know. But speaking of that thermal camera though, let's try that out. As you can see, when we switch cameras, it gives us a thermal spectrum, allowing us to see heat signatures, which we can see in the dark or even through stuff like a smoke screen. I don't know if you guys remember that scene, but I think everyone was fighting and then the flag smashers threw some smoke and then the Falcon went thermal and he could still see everyone. Yup, this thing can do exactly that.
Seems like we got a guy over there who's looking a little suspicious. Well, turns out he has smoke. Clearly he brought the smoke, but that's okay. We want the smoke. I'm trying to make this like cool. So notice, can't see anything. But if we switch to thermal, Redwing, give me thermal.
Thermal engaged.
And boom, there he is.
Boah, geil.
Right on the screen. Hey, get back here, you.
Das ist voll geil.
But this thermal camera also makes a great tool for recon too, in total darkness. All right, we're gonna play a little manhunt to test out the thermal. We've got the bad guy right here. I think we're just gonna have him run around the area. We're gonna chase him down with Redwing and see if we can find him.
You won't be able to.
We'll see. We'll see. You're very fast, I will say that. You're suspiciously fast.
The aerodynamics.
It's the aerodynamics, it really is. I'm gonna start scanning. Oh, the manhunt is on.
Oh no.
Oh, I can see you. You're in the middle of the yard.
it.
Is that right? Near the backward left quadrant?
Do you see me laying down?
Dude, you're supposed to be trying to get away, man. You're making this too easy.
No, that's just level 1. I'm just testing you, dude.
All right, we're back. I'm gonna go keep looking for you.
1 hour later.
Dude, you're inside? That's not fair. Round 2, baby. Let's go. Bro, you're by the back door. I can clearly see you.
Oh, that sucks, dude. I thought I'd be by the house and it'd help.
I see you coming around. I hear you, bro. Why did you come to where I actually am? This is like real life Call of Duty or something. Like, I'm like literally, I feel like I'm about to shoot you.
Oh, God.
With like some missiles or something. Hey, Christian.
Oh, what up?
He's quick. I want to switch to visible just to compare.
Okay.
That's like the city lights and then nothing. I don't know what else to do, dude. You haven't evaded me.
Evaded you twice. You just said it was cheating.
Inside, bro? Come on, you're better than that.
In real life, there are insides of
I
places.
would have shot you like 20 times over by now. And lastly, we can't
Der Typ hat Verstecken für immer gebastelt. Definitiv, definitiv. Weil, wenn du drinnen bist, dann sieht er dich nicht mehr, weil die Hitze halt das nicht mehr wahrnimmt.
Get the artillery this thing is packing. Again, it's got a 1 watt blue laser on it, definitely packed with punch. So we set up some balloon targets all around the yard. Let's see if Redwing can pop them all.
Boah, wie geil.
Mission complete.
One last thing though,
Ey, sah dieser Laser nicht sick aus? Alter, das sah einfach verdammt sick aus.
I want to try, let's launch a rocket from this thing, because I mean they did that in the show too. So I 3D printed a little model rocket that we can mount to the bottom of the Redwing. And then I just modified the laser circuit to trigger an electric rocket igniter.
That's enough, like, avoid that shit in my rocket ship. Take a hit in my rocket.
Oh my God, let's go.
Wie geil ist das?
Okay, wow, that actually worked. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's about as close as we can get to a real life Redwing. Oh, is that it? Is that everything? Oh,
Not
gotta
quite.
make the wings. Forgot the wings. God, all right, how long is this video? We're gonna have to speed run this. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do the wings justice. It's like the main thing to this entire build. I think I got a plan, and we're definitely gonna need some help. Luckily though, we got a couple talented engineers who can help out. Actually, if you're a talented engineer and you wanna help out with these videos, definitely hit us up at JLaserVideo.com/join the team. Just fill out the form and we'll be in touch. We also got some new Falcon Wings inspired merch if you guys are interested and want to help support the channel. So here's the plan. I'm gonna whip up a first version of these wings. At the same time, the other guys are gonna be working on the final version, complex, rugged metal, expanding, crazy cool mechanism. And we also gotta figure out the actual flying component, because again, I wanna fly with these things. But all that we'll do next time so we can actually do the wings justice. Here's what I'm thinking for version 1. The goal with these is gonna be to keep things light and simple. Like I want this to start from a tiny backpack form factor and then expand out into some impressive wings, just like how they did it in the show. So I started playing around with some different folding mechanisms. I originally just thought of using like metal tubes with springs, just kind of bend them all together and have them spring out, or like some umbrella design that like unfurls. But I think there's a way to do it smaller and simpler than that. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen these expandable staffs. I've used them in past projects, but basically they're coiled up pieces of metal that act like a spring telescope. And I think this could be the perfect mechanism to make this first version of the wings happen. So then it was as simple as 3D printing a housing to hold the staffs, 2 for each side. I mounted these to a base plate, and the release mechanism is just a pin that locks each staff into place, which we can connect all together to trigger them all at once. Then I cut out the fabric into a wing shape and attached it to the ends. Then to make it look like the backpack, I carved a back plate out of some foam, coated it with some wood filler and sanded it down, gave it a paint job, and mounted it to the base plate to make it look somewhat like the wing backpack from the show. Lastly, I did some quick detailing on the wings to make them look a little better too. I'm actually pretty happy with how this came out, considering it's a first version that I made in a day. And like, if we can do this in a day, definitely stay tuned for the final version. Real quick though, before I show this off, in every video I like to show off some projects that you guys made and sent to me, like these right here. Awesome stuff, guys. Thank you very much for sending these to me. If you've made anything cool, definitely send them my way at JLaserVideo or email too. All right, so here it is, fully expandable Falcon Wings 1.0.
Das ist schon geil.
It does look pretty cool though. Like the way the fabric catches the light, it sort of looks like metal. And I think this expandable mechanism is pretty clever. Not too bad for a first version. But next time though, we'll make it even better, more true to the movie, and eventually try to fly with it. Definitely subscribe for that. Like this video if you did. Thank you guys very much for watching, and get hyped for the next one. Peace.
Auf jeden Fall sehr starkes Video. Kriegt von mir definitiv ein Like. Ja. Das war echt geil. Also ich muss sagen, das war echt geil. Die Drohne und die Flügel, die er noch innerhalb von so 5 Sekunden gemacht hat. Geil.